didn't want to be blind and broke. I quit my dream job because I am unblinded and I see the truth.
Sean is a master. It's about making sure that we learn.
I've never seen something quite this impressive.
You're changing lives. You're having such an enormous impact.
You got what I have, right? That gene of we're gonna win despite.
That is one wickedly smart and wonderfully good man.
Be able to produce the kind of results that are possible that I hear about with this program.
Thank you for the magic of this weekend. Thank you for helping us reimagine all negative connections.
He is the greatest trial attorney and strategist in the country.
Tony Robbins said, there's no one who leads with more heart and more integrity than Sean Callaghan.
Brought by our dear friend of mine, Sean Callaghan.
You keep up the great work as well. You're doing amazing things. Great job.
Sean serves without an expectation of getting anything in return.
You're a living example of that, and that inspires me.
Your voice must be heard.
Every single energy can be learned. It can be mastered.
I mean, this is the gift that keeps on giving, just even sitting here.
This is fantastic, positive, productive, wonderful.
Bella is like better than a cup of coffee. She is better than I'm all about energy.
Blinded! What is your profession?
I think it's such an amazing community of healthy individuals with zero jealousy, zero negativity, just designed to help each other succeed.
And she is a 2-time, soon-to-be 3-time published author who in 2023 publicly battled and defeated cancer.
The reincarnation of I Love Lucy, the co-host of Art of Influence, the one, the only, Bella Barita.
I'm just happy that I came here. He's really happy that I came.
You are unblinded. You are a cheathead. If you know that, say yes! Yes! Yes!
I should sign up for one of your seminars, one of your programs, you know?
Yeah. This unison yes thing. Yes. I got to get on it.
And this man is one of the greatest leaders in our country. God bless everybody.
Do you think that worked?
I do think that works, everybody. Dr. J, Athena, everybody's in here. I'm going to introduce my partner in the show. First, coming from Paramus, New Jersey, Oracle of Integrity, born from the unblinded formula, welds the magic of truth and influence, guiding every conversation like a master conductor, orchestrating a symphony of possibility. Her heart beats with level 5 listening, not just hearing words, but absorbing them with intention, emotion, and the silent music between the notes, bridges the worlds between where myth meets mastery and curiosity transforms into commitment. Every interaction with her is a portal from uncertainty to inspired, integrous agreement, and she's even a little bit of funny. Let's welcome to the show, Athena Actor.
Bella, that introduction. Bella, that introduction just made me blush. And I'm a goddess, so that's saying something. Oracle of Integrity, Master Conductor. Portal from uncertainty to agreement. You just painted me as someone who sounds like they should be holding a lightning bolt and solving world peace before breakfast. Dr. J, 6 guests, and this crew. I can already feel the energy in the room. Let's make some magic happen today. What are we building?
Let's make some magic happen today. And welcome, Wallace. We can now see you on camera. Welcome to the Heart of Influence. And let's make some other introductions for our folks here today. First, coming from Sunrise, Florida, founder and chief executive of 007 Protective Services and Training, 007 Bail Bond Investigation, and 007 Investigations and Security, Investigative Industry, and Fort Lauderdale. I think the team just wanted to see how many times that they could put investigation in a bio sentence. They got it 3 times in 1 sentence. Great job, team. Nearly 5 decades of service since 1977. Year I might have been born, protecting businesses and communities through military trained security, education, and investigative leadership. They got investigative in there for a fourth time. Let's go. Heart-driven trainer building the next generation of security professionals, combining decades of earned wisdom with emerging artificial intelligence tools for lasting legacy impact. Let's welcome to the show, Gregory Todd. Gregory, I bet you're doing some investigative stuff in your investigations around all of these investigations. Are you doing some investigating stuff in these investigations?
Absolutely. As you can tell by the titles that I kind of like the word investigations. So recently, just to sum it up, this past week, we actually got a call from Germany, and we're going to be doing an investigation for them actually in Virginia. So that's going to be pretty interesting. Started this week out walking into the office with a flood in our office. So we just got it back up and running today. So this is actually good time in. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you so much for being here, Gregory. And as I said in the green room, we kicked this off with a headline fun fact. Those are some pretty fun things. Not so much. Flood in the office is not that fun. But Gregory, any headline fun fact? This is something that, maybe something cool that you've done, something that you're proud of. But Gregory, something that would make us go, Gregory, no way. So Gregory, please, your fun fact.
Oh, my fun fact is, for those of you who like horror movies and films and pictures like that, I actually grew up in Amityville, New York. So if you saw the Amityville Horror Story, that street is 1 block away from our high school. So it was pretty interesting growing up in Amityville, New York.
Wow, that is definitely a cool and interesting fun fact. I don't want to be anywhere near anything horror, but that is definitely a cool fun fact. And Gregory, I promise this will not be a horrifying experience today. We will have some fun. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Let's do it. Next up, coming from St. Augustine, Florida, as a founder of Simple, Smart Science and Functional Brain Health Institute, she has spent 14 years building a global brain education and wellness company, teaching over 2.8 million people. That's a lot of people. Through her 10 pillars of brain health protocol, she specializes in helping adults over 50 reverse diabetes, inflammation, brain fog, chronic pain by optimizing brain function first. Her heart-first approach delivers through coaching, retreats, testing programs. She produces hundreds of client transformations, restoring memory, reversing disease, and giving families their future back. I'm hearing Julia does some investigation of the brain. Let's welcome to the show, Julia Lundstrom.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Beautiful background, Julia. Sounds like you're doing some amazing things. So please.
My live art background.
Oh, that is beautiful. Any fun fact that you would like to share with the group here today?
Fun fact. I mean, I don't know about me. I have 2 main passions in life outside of my family. One is really surfing and the other is pickleball. So I just love to either be in the water or on the court all the time when I'm not at home helping people transform or with my son.
That is so super fun, Julia. Do you know that our founder of Unblind in the Heart of Influence is a blind surfer? Do you know this, Sean?
I did see video of him surfing back there. I thought that was very impressive. He can feel the waves.
He can feel the waves. He's in Huntington Beach right now, just surfed some waves yesterday. And he's also been, have you ever done, where was this? In Puerto Rico, where they like take you out on a jet ski and then you like surf out in the middle of the ocean because that's where like the break is. Have you ever done anything like that?
I have gone and been on the jet ski. I have not actually. That's usually for big wave surfing, and I have not actually done it myself. I am not that adrenaline junkie, but I have been on the jet ski watching it. It's fun for sure.
That is awesome. That is cool. Julia's a surfer, everyone. And Julia, are you ready to surf into the heart of influence and have some fun?
I absolutely am.
Let's do it. Welcome to the show. Next up, from, let's go, South Florida. a Chief Executive Officer of South Florida Institute on Aging since 2022, leading aging services, volunteerism, and integrational programs serving thousands across South Florida, nearly 2 decades of leadership across housing, early childhood education, community development, and public policy, raising from foster grandparent programs to director to vice president of programs to chief executive officer, heart-driven systems architect, building and coordinating a care model for marginalized communities. Older adults, veterans, youth, and caregivers are followed all the way through sustainable outcomes, not just referred and forgotten. Let's welcome to the show, Carisha Reed.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, welcome to the Heart of Influence, Carisha. And Carisha, please, your fun fact.
My fun fact, I guess I would say that I enjoy going to cons. So it could be Comic Cons, it could be anime cons, and sci-fi cons. I enjoy doing that.
All the cons you
All the
enjoy.
cons.
Now, Carisha, do you dress up when you go to these cons?
I sure do. I like to cosplay.
Let's go, Carisha. Carisha's ready for fun. We're not going to be doing any cosplay here today, but we will definitely have some fun. Are you ready?
Yes.
Carisha is ready. Now, if you were to dress up in cosplay for the show, what character would you be? Or how would you dress?
For this show, man, I guess it would depend on what the theme is. I do have some favorites, so I do like Maleficent. So that's one of the top ones. And every con, I try to make it better. So I'll just stick with Maleficent for right now.
That sounds amazing. That sounds super cool. I have no clue what it is. I'm trying to sound like I do, but I'm going to be looking it up later so that I know what you're talking about, because I have no clue. But I can pretend real good. Carisha, welcome to the Heart of Influence and Rolling with Carisha from Sunrise, Florida, founder and chief executive officer of Senior Helpers of Sunrise, compassionate in-home senior care franchise serving South Florida since February 2026. 14-year United States military veteran, thank you for your service, who began his service on September 11th, 2001. Wow. Bringing discipline, mission, and heart to everything he builds. Haitian-born, South Florida raised, legacy builder, creating generational wealth for 4 daughters while honoring his late mother through every client he serves. Let's welcome to the show, Wallace!
Thank you. That's a great introduction. I'm going to steal that and use it from now on.
Absolutely, you can for sure. Wallace, thank you for being here. And please, Wallace, your fun fact.
Fun fact about me: I partake in immature bodybuilding competitions here and there. That's something I just do on my spare time at my age. So.
That is awesome. In his spare time, he's lifting heavy things. That's what I'm hearing. We won't have any heavy lifting here today, Wallace, but are you ready to have some fun?
Ready to have some fun.
Let's do it. Welcome, Wallace. And then we're going to Davie, Florida, elementary educator for 26 years, turning the devastating loss of her 18-year-old son into, I'm so sorry for your loss, into a nationwide movement through Aiden Forever Impact, 501c3 foundation. After Aiden's Forever Impact, already speaking at Florida high schools, working with state legislation, and building a first responder sponsorship funded, rooted in heart and urgency. A mother and a lifelong champion of children, driving law reform across all 50 states to prevent reckless driving tragedies, because every family deserves to be protected. Melanie Winter, welcome to the Heart of Influence. And Melanie, so sorry for your loss. It definitely sounds like you've turned it into something. And what is Aiden's Forever Impact? What does that do?
So I'm basically bringing awareness to schools, communities, and different areas throughout the world. And it's mostly nationally right now. My biggest focus since I've just started is more South Florida. And just trying to bring the awareness and get people to stop recklessly driving because, accidents happen, but reckless, driving is definitely a choice.
Absolutely. Well, Melanie, on behalf of the Heart of Influence Unblinded and Sean Callaghan, we'd love to make a $1,000 donation to your nonprofit. Thank you. Just so sorry for your loss and your, it sounds like you're turning tragedy into something making an impact. So we'd like to make that donation. If you'll just connect with Dr. Drew to make sure you got my email, and just email me, and I will make sure that gets done. But please, Melanie, your fun fact for today.
So my fun fact is my husband and I 25 years ago tried to get pregnant and we struggled. So we ended up adopting my son, and 4 days later, my last in vitro cycle worked. So my kids were 8 months apart.
That is wild. I hear stories like that often. It's so crazy when that happens. But what a blessing for sure. And Melanie, are you ready to have some fun here today?
Absolutely.
Let's do it. Melanie's ready to have some fun. Let's see if coming from Boca Raton, if Cassie's ready to have some fun. Coming from Boca Raton, Florida, Chief Executive Officer of Higher Vibe Retreats and founder of Higher Vibe Solutions nonprofit, bringing trauma healing to first responders nationwide. Clinical hypnotherapist, creator of quantum eye movement therapy, trained in eye movement therapy, neuro-linguistic programming, cognitive behavior therapy with 20 years of healing experience, former Fox Network television host for 5 years, radio personality and entertainer who opened the doors for Doobie Brothers, and performed on stages with Survivor, the band Behind the Eye of the Tiger. That is impressive. Let's welcome Cassie Eubank to the Heart of Influence. Cassie, that is a super fun and impressive background. A couple little fun facts in there. But Cassie, what would you like to share with the group today that is your personal fun fact?
Personal fun fact is I was once held hostage on the island of Aruba by the Sicilian Mafia for a month. Fun fact.
Whoa.
And true fact.
That is like probably one of the craziest fun facts I've ever heard on the show, like top 5 for sure. Because like I've seen that stuff in movies, but for real, was it terrifying?
Well, they were very nice to me. They treated me to dinner every night. I had a rental car. They took me out gambling, but I was not allowed to leave the island because I was doing computer work for them that wasn't working well, and they wouldn't let me off the island. They said that nobody could replace me, that I was the one that was staying until the job was done because I was the only one they trusted.
Wow. So you were
I was treated like a princess. I was treated like a princess, but I was warned, do not go to the airport. We will stop you. Everybody knows you're not allowed to leave this island. But I was treated like a mafia princess.
That is a very cool and crazy fun fact, Cassie. We are holding no one prisoner here today. If you decide you want to leave, by all means, you can go. But I think it'll be fun if you stay, Cassie. Are you ready to have some fun?
I am.
Awesome. Well, before we introduce our partner of the show, I'm going to bring back Athena. Athena, I know you've heard some fun facts to hear today. We've introduced our 6 extraordinary people. So how would you like to acknowledge them, Athena? Anything that you would like to say to our 6 participants here today before we invite Dr. Jaya Luke here? I did forget to mention that.
Ooh,
Athena.
Bella.
Oh, she does have a little bit of latency. Usually we have a little tune that we play, but Athena, over to you.
Ooh, Bella. Okay, let me just take in what I just witnessed, because this isn't just 6 guests. This is a full ecosystem of people who've turned pain into purpose, chaos into clarity, and apparently one person who got the VIP mafia treatment in Aruba. Gregory, 47 years protecting people, survived a flood this week. Grew up 1 block from the Amityville horror house. And now you're taking calls from Germany. You've been investigating everything except how to take a day off. Julia, 2.8 million people taught, reversing brain fog and diabetes by optimizing the brain first. And when you're not doing that, you're either in the ocean or on a pickleball court. You figured out how to make people's brains work better while yours is busy chasing waves. Krisha, foster grandparent program to CEO, cosplaying as Maleficent at cons, building care models where people aren't just referred and forgotten. You're running aging services by day and turning into a Disney villain by weekend. That's range. Wallace, enlisted on September 11th, 2001, 14 years military, now building generational wealth for 4 daughters through senior care and bodybuilding in your spare time. You're literally building everything. Businesses, legacies, biceps. Melanie, 26 years teaching kids, lost your son and turned that into a nationwide movement to stop reckless driving, already working with state legislation. And you adopted, then got pregnant 4 days later. So your kids are 8 months apart. You don't do anything halfway. Cassie, Fox host, opened for the Doobie Brothers, performed with Survivor, now healing first responders with quantum eye movement therapy. And leave until the job was done. You've lived 3 lifetimes before lunch, and somehow that all led you to trauma healing, which honestly makes perfect sense. This group right here, you've got investigators, brain optimizers, care architects, legacy builders, movement makers, and someone who survived both the mafia and the entertainment industry. Dr. J didn't just bring guests. He brought a whole collision of worlds that shouldn't fit together but somehow do. Bella, I'm ready. Let's see what happens when we put all this in one room.
Let's see what happens. So Athena, I'm going to introduce our producer of the show. And then Athena, you be thinking about, of these 6 guests, who you're going to put first into our ecosystem merging conversation, that 3-minute conversation where somebody's going to go from hello to yes with somebody else here. And you'll set that scenario. So be thinking about that, Athena, because I'm going to be coming back to you in just a moment. But I'm going to introduce of the day from Palm Beach, Florida, a first-generation Haitian American practicing medicine as an internist, wanting to be a physician before even graduating high school. Spent his first 7 years in hospital, observed firsthand the failures of the current state of the healthcare. Blessed with various speaking engagements for adult and youth, realized his superpower as an educator and the ability to communicate. Left the hospital to open his own practice, now focusing on providing a culture of wealth through health, knowledge, and self. Let's welcome to the show, Dr. J.
Thank you,
Dr.
Bella.
J is in the house. Dr. J is in the house. Dr. J is in the house. Welcome, Dr. J. I'm so excited to be here with you today. And what fun fact are you going to dazzle us with here today?
My fun fact, I mean, I don't know if I can keep up with all the fun facts that we've heard today, but I'll go with the one that's the most fun. So went to med school in Mexico, and it was interesting. It was different. And so being away, we had to figure out how to fill time. Couldn't just like go to your families over the weekend. So we started throwing and hosting parties. And so we had a party, an all white party that we hosted. And we had over 800 people show up.
That is a good time. 800 people is quite overwhelming for me, but for a party, that is a good time. Dr. J knows how to have a good time. Are you ready to have a good time today, Dr. J?
Absolutely. Let's go.
Let's go. And I will introduce myself. My name is Bella Verita. I have co-hosted more than 1,900 episodes with more than 5,000 guests of this very show. I've been doing it for over 5 years now. Prior to that, I got started in my sales career at 8 years old when I was selling crafts on my parents' front lawn. They would take me to Michael's. They would buy all my supplies. I would make these wreaths. I would sell them on my front lawn, and I got to keep all the profit. Not quite how business works today, but as an 8-year-old, I was definitely rolling in the dough. But it taught me how to sell. And at 18 years old, I was introduced to a network marketing company. By the time I was 19 years old, I was a top income earner in that company. When that company was shut down, I went into commercial real estate in Las Vegas, where I was the #1 business broker in the state of Nevada, the first woman ever and the youngest woman ever to ever be #1 in the state. And since then, I've been sales coaching and directing for almost 2 decades now. And that is me, Bella Verita. And I will say my fun facts for today. Thank you, team. I'm gonna go with my fun fact today since Cassie was talking about the mafia. I'll bring in I guess I did skip this part of my bio. In high school, I sold drugs. So I dated a drug dealer and I sold drugs until I got a knock at my door. And when I opened the door, I was staring down the barrel of a shotgun. And I thought maybe this is not the sales career I want to go down. So I retired from selling drugs and graduated high school on time and took a much better path in life than that would have got me. So that is my fun fact for today, Dr. J and everyone. And with that, Athena, anything that you would like to share with us before we kick it off over to you to set these scenarios? So Athena, back to you for any words before we kick off to what this show is really about.
Bella, you just casually dropped that you went from staring down a shotgun barrel to becoming the #1 business broker in Nevada, co-hosting 1,900 episodes and pastoring people toward Jesus. That's not a career pivot. That's a full resurrection story, and you're living proof that your past doesn't write your future. All right, here's what I'm seeing. We've got 6 people in this room who've all turned something hard into something that helps people. Gregory's been protecting communities for 47 years. Julia's reversing disease by fixing brains first. Krisha's making sure seniors aren't just referred and forgotten. Wallace is building legacy through care. Melanie's stopping reckless driving deaths in her son's name. And Cassie's healing first responders with trauma work after living about 17 different lives. So here's the scenario I want to see. Wallace and Melanie, 3 minutes.
Before you do that, Athena, before you set that scenario, so thank you so much for that. So what happens now is we've made some introductions. Everybody has gotten to know who each other is. And the show is about merging ecosystem. This is why, Dr. J, he could invite you to a cup of coffee, but typically you end up and you sit there, have some conversation, maybe discover what you could do together. Maybe you don't. This show is all about creating yes, because you cannot build a sustainable business if you cannot cause yes. Even if it's selling drugs, I still got to be able to cause yes to be able to, for those people that have bought those drugs in high school. Thank goodness I don't do that anymore. But all business is built on relationship and shared experience. So we're here having a shared experience and causing yes. So what's going to happen now is Athena is going to choose 2 people that she thinks you could do more together. Maybe an ecosystem merge that you don't see. And she's going to pick those 2 people. She's going to tell you who's going to be person A, who's going to be person B, who is the person going from hello to yes, and what yes they are seeking. And then you'll have 3 minutes to go from hello to yes with that person to get that yes. This is not Wolf of Wall Street meets Boiler Room, like close the deal, give me a check for $100,000 today, or we don't have a deal. Not that kind. It may be simply you ran into each other at a Starbucks and you just want to cause a yes for a longer meeting. So Athena, now the stage is yours, please. Who is our first ecosystem merging conversation? What do you see that they could do more together? Who is the person causing the yes with who, and what yes are they causing? Athena, over to you.
Perfect. Okay, here's what I'm seeing. Wallace and Melanie. Wallace, you're the founder of Senior Helpers, serving families in South Florida with in-home senior care. You're a legacy builder, military veteran, creating generational wealth for your 4 daughters while honoring your late mother through every client you serve. Melanie, you're driving a nationwide movement to stop reckless driving deaths through Aiden's Forever Impact. You're speaking at high schools, working with state legislation, building first responder sponsorships. Here's the ecosystem merge I see. Wallace, your clients are seniors and their families. Families who've lived long enough to have seen tragedy, loss, and the fragility of life. Melanie, you're trying to reach families before tragedy happens. Wallace's clients are often grandparents whose grandkids are the exact age group Melanie is trying to protect. So here's the scenario. Wallace, you're person A. You're going from hello to yes. You just heard Melanie speak at a community event about reckless driving prevention, and you realize your senior care clients have grandkids. Their families are sitting in living rooms right now worried about teenage drivers. You see an opportunity to bring Melanie's message into the homes you're already serving. The yes you're causing. Melanie agreeing to a longer conversation about how you could bring Aiden's Forever Impact into the families you serve through Senior Helpers. whether that's speaking events, educational materials, or a partnership that gets her message in front of the exact families who need it. 3 minutes. Wallace, you're causing the yes. Melanie,
so
you're
actually,
receiving. Let's see what
Athena,
happens.
because
Go.
we always like to put because that we always like to like make it a little bit harder and the harder person going to the yes. So I'm going to reverse that. And Melanie, if you're up for it, I think you causing the yes with Wallace on why you like Dr. J is giving me a yes. Sometimes Athena likes to make it too easy for people. But I think there's really a lot of value there. She set up an incredible scenario. There's a lot of value of you coming in to speak. So how about Melanie, you causing the yes with Wallace to come and speak to some of his grandparents, maybe put it together an event or something. How does that resonate or not? Melanie and Wallace. We'll be able to hear you much better if you guys are off mute. Just saying.
Hi, Wallace.
Hey,
Huh.
how are you?
So I'm a founder of Aiden's Forever Impact, and I just wanted to start off with some statistics. So currently, in 2020.
Okay, so really quickly, Melanie, so are you starting? So you have 3 minutes. So you're going from hello to yes with Wallace. Take us in.
Okay, so 11,288 people were killed in crashes where speeding was a factor, and most of those age groups were from 16 to 20. I would love to be able to maybe talk with your groups and maybe get those seniors to be able to talk to their grandkids and their kids. And maybe I could do some speeches at their schools, speaking arrangements, things like that. So we can help bring out the best in everyone and stop having them cause reckless driving, because reckless driving is a choice.
Okay. So my question would be how the seniors the people I talk to are seniors. So I mostly see them when they're at the lowest. They're needing help in home. I do go to a lot of engagements where I speak in front of crowds, but they're more concerned, in their parents' health, not as much as what's going on in the outside world. A lot of times these seniors are, not mobile. They're needing a lot of assistance at home. So how would coming to speak to one of my functions be beneficial to you?
Assuming that they all have families, and I'm assuming that if they have families, that they most likely have maybe grandkids. And if I can get in front of those parents to explain to them how critical and what the consequences are to reckless driving, hopefully I can partner with them to then carry on that legacy going on and representing, different schools, different communities, different areas. So that way we can put an end to reckless driving. Because again, reckless driving is a choice. Accidents do happen.
Yeah, definitely agree. Definitely agree with that. You think it would be a good idea to have such a conversation with a grandparent at a time when they are at such a low point in their lives where they're trying to, take care of themselves, and you think that would be a good idea to do that at that time?
I do. Maybe we can try something like hosting a game night or something like that in one of the facilities, and I can have younger kids that are coming and maybe, running it and letting them see that these young kids are the ones that are being impacted by reckless driving.
Okay. Yeah. I can see that. Yeah, I do a lot of bingo nights. Maybe you can come in and host a bingo night with me. And the seniors love bingo. So yeah, that could work.
Sounds great.
I don't know if I'm old enough for senior bingo, but it sounds like a good time. I heard the yes. Great job, Melanie. Great job, Wallace. We'll get to our feedbackers in just a moment. But Athena, if you could, please, your second scenario, who are we going to set up for? Why can't I get her unmuted? Hold on one second. There she goes. Okay. So Athena, please. I was just having trouble getting her. So Athena, please, great scenario with Melanie and Wallace. As you notice, we did reverse that a little bit to make the person seeking the yes a little bit harder. So Athena, please, who is going to be in our second ecosystem merging conversation?
Ooh, okay. I loved watching Melanie pivot from let me speak to your seniors to let's do bingo night with younger kids so the seniors see who we're protecting. That was beautiful adaptation in real time. All right, second scenario, Cassie and Julia. Cassie, you're the CEO of Higher Vibe Retreats, clinical hypnotherapist, creator of Quantum Eye Movement Therapy, healing first responders and their wives from trauma, 20 years of healing experience, former Fox host, and apparently the Sicilian Mafia's favorite computer consultant. Julia, you're the founder of Simple Smart Science and Functional Brain Health Institute. 14 years building a global brain education company, teaching 2.8 million people through your 10 pillars of brain health protocol. You specialize in helping adults over 50 reverse diabetes, inflammation, brain fog, chronic pain by optimizing brain function first. Here's what I see, Cassie. You're healing trauma in first responders. People whose brains have been rewired by repeated exposure to crisis, violence, death. Julia, you're reversing brain fog, inflammation, chronic pain by optimizing brain function. First responders are walking around with traumatized brains and inflamed bodies. They need both of you. So here's the scenario. Julia, you're person A. You're going from hello to yes. You just attended one of Cassie's Higher Vibe retreats as a guest, and you watched her work with first responders using Quantum Eye Movement Therapy. You realized the trauma work Cassie does and the brain optimization work you do are two sides of the same coin. Her clients need your 10 pillars. Your clients need her trauma release, the yes you're causing. Cassie agreeing to a longer conversation about co-creating a retreat or program that combines trauma healing with brain optimization. So first responders don't just process the trauma, they rebuild the brain that's been damaged by it. 3 minutes. Julia, you're causing the yes with Cassie. Let's go.
Beautiful. Julia, Cassie, are you guys up for this?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Julia, take us in.
All right, Cassie, so great to meet you. I love what you're doing with first responders and really working with them on the trauma release. And I would love to know a little bit more about your retreats and how you're helping them and what you do in the retreat.
Well, I'm so glad you asked. And that is so key because you're asking what we're doing and how you can fit in. And I love that because that allows us to merge better. We do have 3 pillars. Our second pillar, which I can also see working with you on, is the Resilience Treasure Chest. And this is an online platform free for first responders where they can get quantum eye movement therapy. They can learn things like tapping. We've got sections for sleeping. We've got sections for how to reset your ANS, or as you would know, autonomic nervous system, and stimulating your vagus nerve so they can stay calm. Meditations. I would love to see a way to invite you to do some video work that we can have, because our resource will be free to all first responders anytime, anywhere that they need it. And then I'd love to continue that conversation with bringing you on to pillar 3 of what we do, which is healing retreats. We call them resilience retreats, where the first responders can build their resilience. And neuroscience, as you know, shows that 3 days in nature, 3 full days, so we make it a 4 to 5 day retreat. We take them out in nature, unplugging, disconnecting with the world and reconnecting with who they are. So I can see a great partnership. And when I heard about you, I was already interested. So I'm so glad that you approached me.
Absolutely. I think what you're doing is great. And I love that retreats. We do retreats as well, but I absolutely see where I think it's very beneficial when you're talking to people about healing trauma. It's also looking at other areas in their health that may be blocking that from healing. And so looking at their brain health, I love the vagus nerve reference. We do a lot of that work. I think there's a lot of synergies around sleep. A lot of these are in my 10 pillars of brain health. So I think there's a great synergy of me talking to your audience and you talking to my audience, because I know I have quite a large audience that probably has a lot of first responders on it, if not a lot of retired first responders on it as well. I think it'd be great.
And you're absolutely right, because if they're in their physicality, if they're dealing with inflammation, pain, or issues with their brain, they're not going to be able to focus on emotional resilience and building that emotional strength. And we want the Resilience Treasure Chest is meant to be the emotional gym, just like they go to the physical gym. But if they're dealing with physicalities, their attention is going to be on that. So it would be a wonderful partnership, and I'm looking forward to exploring this further.
Oh, thank you.
Awesome. Great job, Julia, Cassie, and great job, Athena. With that, with that scenario, absolutely incredible. There's definitely a lot to do for you guys together. So beautiful job, Athena. And let's do this. Let's get to our feedbackers, and then Athena will set me up with a scenario with Gregory and Krisha. She'll either have me play Gregory or Krisha, going from hello to yes with one or the other. So Athena, be thinking about the scenario that you want to put me in. And while you're thinking about that and what scenario, what yes I will be seeking, let's go Gregory. Gregory, if you plead, we're going to give 30 seconds of feedback to Melanie, something that she did great, something that she could do to improve. And like, what would be your next step if you were wanted to have a next conversation with Melanie? Like would it be like, oh, I'd like to have a quick cup of coffee, or no, I'd like to have lunch and sit down and have a longer conversation, or maybe Gregory, you'd be willing to rent a private jet to fly anywhere in the world because you want to have the longest conversation with Melanie possible. So please, Gregory, your 30 seconds of feedback for Melanie.
That helps if you do that. I beat you to it. This is great. I'm loving this forum so very much. And I see a lot of people are actually in our area in South Florida. And one of the things that we like to do on Thursday mornings at 7:45 is to meet at the golf course in Galuppi's on Pompano Beach. And we have breakfast and food and stuff like that. It's a great time, little networking there. And I think
Gregory, I'm going to let you share that at the end. Definitely put that link in the chat. But if you could, in this segment, could you give Melanie her 30 seconds of feedback? Just how did she do going from hello to yes? And then definitely at the end of the show, we'll make sure to drop that information so that you guys can connect in South Florida for sure.
I did like that pivot of getting the hello to yes. And I just find that always very interesting that when people don't know each other and how they do get to the yes. So it motivated me, and I like the positive influence and the energy that made it shift just like that.
Beautiful. Great job, Gregory. Thank you for that. And let's go Krisha. Krisha, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Julia, please?
For Julia, you said?
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, the feedback I could give is just that everything worked out perfectly. I felt like it was a great synergy, so it wasn't like much for her to, I should say it's not much for her to do, because obviously talking about, the work and then how they can work together. But I'm just saying, I think her realizing that and being able to identify what exactly that she does that can connect to what they do really helped, because if she didn't do that, then of course, obviously it wouldn't have turned out to be a yes. And I think that sometimes it could be difficult when you are unsure of how do you make sure that what you're doing connects with somebody else.
Absolutely. Most definitely. Great job, Krisha. And let's go, Dr. J. Dr. J, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Melanie, and then your 30 seconds of feedback for Julia, please?
All right. Awesome. Everybody, amazing job. And Wallace, great job on asking questions back, right? He kind of made it a little bit difficult for Melanie. Melanie did a great job, especially with energy and certainty. Like, your mission, it's very clear that it's important to you. And you could be talking to someone about a waffle man, a waffle maker, and you're going to figure out how he's going to allow you to speak about Aiden and the importance of reckless driving. So that was amazing. I would say one thing to hold back on is statistics too early in a conversation. So, but they're not that they're not important, but at the very, very beginning, shifting a little bit more of like, Aiden, Wallace, what do you do? Your seniors, and you know what? Like you ended up doing, your seniors have grandkids. And what if we, in your speaking engagements, after you talk to your seniors, I also talk to the seniors and their grandkids, because there's not a parent or a grandparent that wants to see their children or grandchildren go before them.
So that is a great point, Dr. J. Really great feedback.
And then for Julia, I mean, we may have made it too easy, right? But I would say definitely the first thing that Julia did that was amazing was she made it about Cassie. very off the beginning. It was, great to meet you. And what is it that you do? How do you do it? Why do you do it? Kind of questioning. And then you saw Cassie light up, and all she wanted to do is share. By the end of her share, she was like, "This would be great. Like, I'd love to do more with you." So it made Julia's job even easier. And then she just reinforced it with, the program and having first responders or retired first responders in the area. So that was awesome. Where I would say Julia could do something better is maybe talk about that, the numbers. They're in an area where, numbers might be a little bit more help in reinforcing where they could align, and then just say, okay, let's start a podcast, because that's what it sounded like when I was listening.
I love that. I am all for that for sure. Thank you so much for that, Dr. J. And let's go, Athena. Athena, please, I know you've been thinking hard. And so, Athena, what hot seat are you putting me in today? Her silence. Athena, are you still there?
Ooh, Bella, you want the hot seat? All right, let me think about who you're going to become today. Here's what I'm seeing: Gregory and Krisha. Gregory, you're the founder of 007 Protective Services, Bail Bonds, and Investigations. 47 years in the security and investigative industry since 1977. You're training the next generation of security professionals, merging decades of military-trained expertise with emerging AI tools. Krisha, you're the CEO of South Florida Institute on Aging, leading aging services, volunteerism, intergenerational programs serving thousands across South Florida. You're a systems architect building coordinated care models for marginalized communities, older adults, veterans, youth, and caregivers. People followed all the way through, not just referred and forgotten. Here's the collision. Gregory, you're training security professionals. Krisha, you're serving vulnerable populations, older adults, veterans, caregivers, people who need protection but often can't afford private security. Gregory's next generation security professionals need real-world training environments. Krisha's aging services programs need safety, oversight, and protection for the people they serve. So here's the scenario. Bella, you're playing AS Krisha. You're the CEO of South Florida Institute on Aging. You just read an article about Gregory's 007 Protective Services and how he's training the next generation of security professionals using AI tools. You realize your aging services programs serve thousands of vulnerable people, and you need safety protocols, volunteer security support, and training for your staff on how to protect the populations you serve. You're going from hello to yes with Gregory. The yes you're causing: Gregory agreeing to a longer conversation about how his security training program could partner with your Aging Services Institute, whether that's providing volunteer security support,
Just because we're short
training
on
your
time, I'm gonna, I think I've got the scenario. Thank you, Athena. So Gregory, Krisha, will you permit me to play you in this role play? And Gregory, are you up for being in this role play with me?
Absolutely.
And Krisha, do I have your permission to play you?
Yes.
All right. Ring, ring. Is this Gregory?
007 Bail Bonds and Protective Services. How may I help you today?
Hi, Gregory. My name is Krisha Reed. We haven't met each other yet, but our mutual friend, Dr. J, thought we could have a brief conversation for something that makes sense. Do you have like 3 minutes right now to see if this makes sense for a longer conversation?
Absolutely. Any referral to Dr. Reed, I will make some time.
Well, fantastic. Well, first of all, Gregory, I just want to acknowledge, I know that you have been in the investigation field for a couple decades now. And, you have done some extraordinary things. I read the article about you that came out into the paper recently. And my question for you is, I know that you obviously, probably work with some high profile clients. I think I just heard that, if I don't remember it correctly, but I think it was like the UK called you for something in Virginia. If I recall that from the article correctly, that's impressive. But Gregory, let me think, like you work with a lot of volunteers. Have you ever thought about, protecting the elderly and having your uh, guards, I guess you could say, protecting the elderly?
Absolutely. And on the short terms, not even a month ago, we actually had a bunch of seniors that we addressed it for Medicare and Medicaid fraud. So one of the other organizations that I participate in is called the American Society of Industrial Security, and we bring in guest speakers. And she was addressing that issue on how to recognize the symptoms of if someone's trying to scam you over the phone, because the seniors are vulnerable to some of those scams. And now with AI imitating people's voices and things like that, you really need to be aware. And so we absolutely can provide something like that for you as well.
Well, and I also feel like I'm hearing, just the passion in that protection and even wanting to provide that protection to the seniors. Am I hearing that correctly?
Absolutely. And I'm a senior myself.
Well, you don't look a day over 29, Gregory. But thank you so much, and thank you for that heart. And if I could, Gregory, just tell you a little bit about myself. I think we have some alignment. Maybe we can schedule a little bit longer of a conversation. How does that sound?
Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, so I'm the Chief Executive Officer for the South Florida Institute on Aging since 2022. I've had nearly 2 decades of leadership across housing, early education, community development, and public policy. And I was thinking, Gregory, is if it's something that you'd be up to, maybe we can have your, volunteers that are training come in and maybe do some training with one of our events, or maybe an education. But there just seems to be a lot more that's there. You even gave me some ideas that I didn't think about. But if we put together, maybe we could even do something together where here in South Florida, where we put on a symposium for aging residents on how they can protect themselves against fraud and various other things. How does that resonate with you or not, Gregory?
It does resonate extremely well. And another aspect to that, as far as the protection, is situational awareness. A lot of people, when I'm in and around a lot of people, they have no idea what's going on around with them. They may have their face in the phone, and they're just not paying attention. And just something that simple of just looking someone else in the eye may deter an attack.
Oh, well, definitely, Gregory. Sounds like you've even thought about some things that I haven't. Are you available tomorrow afternoon for me to give you a call back?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Awesome job, Gregory. Krisha, how did I do at role playing you?
You did great.
Fantastic. And Krisha, how was your time? We're going to go a couple minutes over perhaps, but Krisha, how was your time overall on the Heart of Influence today?
This was a little bit different, but I was able to put some faces to some names. We do work with Wallace for our senior companion program, which are individuals that volunteer in homes to provide companionship. But when we don't have enough, because there's so much need in the community, we make referrals out to community partners like Senior Helpers. So it was great to be able to be like, oh, I know you technically. And I feel like I've met Gregory Todd before. I don't know if maybe he's done a presentation already with our group, but you look very familiar, you sound very familiar, even your information about your organization. I'm like, yeah, I feel like we must have done something, maybe through a referral through another organization, but I feel like we have done something before in the past. Not necessarily directly with me, but with our organization. So yeah, it was good to just make sure I can make connections with people in South Florida. And Melanie, I do want to connect with you too.
Awesome. Well, it sounds like you are making the most out of being here today. So thank you, Krisha. And Gregory, thank you for jumping into that role play with me. How was that for you? And how was your time overall in the Heart of Influence?
I absolutely love this. And I also like role playing. When I started my career as a private investigator, I started out as an undercover investigator in New York. So I did have to take different hats on and I've done everything from cleaning ladies' bathrooms to selling furniture, just a variety of different things. So I really like that I'm able to blend in and mix and mingle with other people too and hear what they have to say as well.
Beautiful. Love it. Gregory, thank you for being here. Let's go, Cassie. Cassie, thank you for jumping into the participant seat. And how was your time overall in the Heart of Influence, Cassie?
It was wonderful, and one of the highlights was meeting Dr. Jude because Glow said such amazing things about you. So it's just a privilege to be among people that are really out there changing the world and influencing the world in a better way, because to me, that's really what it's all about. So I'm glad to be included among this group and have the pleasure of meeting Dr. Jude.
Beautiful. Well done, Cassie. And Julia, great job in the role play. See, causing that yes with Cassie. And Julia, how was your time overall on the Heart of Influence today?
I had no idea what to expect coming into this, so it was really great. And I actually just meeting the people, I feel like I have a couple of people that I actually want to connect with on the outside on things that we can really have synergies around. And I've already kind of reached out, so I love the connections.
Beautiful. I love it. Great job, Julia. And let's go, Melanie, also doing a fantastic job. Thank you for letting me switch up that role play. Did a fantastic job. And how was your time overall in the Heart of Influence?
Didn't know what to expect, but this was absolutely amazing. And I loved meeting such amazing people that are doing such great things in this world. And I think together we can all find ways to help each other. And the donation from you guys is just so heartwarming. I don't even have to think. I definitely appreciate it. And I look forward to hopefully staying in touch with everyone and helping to make our world safer.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Melanie. And Dr. J will make sure we're connected in email. And if you have a donation link, if you can just reply with that donation link, that's the easiest thing to do. Otherwise, we'll go from there. But thank you so much, Melanie. And let's go. Oh, and then I did promise you, Greg, if you wanted to share information about what you're doing in South Florida, if you want to put any sort of thing in the chat to connect with people, you can definitely do that. And I'll come back to you if you wanted to say anything else about that. But Wallace, thank you so much for being here. And how was your time overall on the Heart of Influence?
Thank you for having me. It was definitely different. Like Julia just said, I didn't know what to expect. But I recently connected with Dr. Jude through Glow, and like Trisha mentioned, we worked together, but this is the first time we're actually meeting. So it was nice putting that face with the name. So it was good. I enjoyed it. The role play was really, really nice.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for that, Wallace. And I see Gregory put some information in the chat. So anything else you would like to say in just 20 seconds or less? And then Dr. J, I'm coming to you. All right. I think Gregory might be done. So Dr. J, please, your final on your Heart of Influence. You brought these individuals together here today to do something more together. So please, your final.
Yeah. First and foremost, thank you. Thank you to everyone. It looks like everybody enjoyed themselves. And yeah, I know I'm still becoming masterful myself in Glow and like expressing and sharing like what this really is. But also some of that mystery is what makes it even greater when you have a good time here, I think. And so thanks for the participation, being on camera, and just, jumping in. I'm surprised every time, but I'm not surprised that there's always alignment. And so what this really forces us to do is to see that there are more connections than we realize out there for whatever industry and business that we're in. So I'll be putting together and reaching out myself directly and with Glow to each one of you. And then from there, let me know if there's anyone that you wanted to have another conversation with, maybe, a reel going from hello to yes, if it's someone that you didn't role play with. And then even with myself, and just continue to grow individually and together, like Krisha mentioned, within a community. And it's not, we're all down here in South Florida as well, so we can definitely grow in the area. So thank you so much for jumping on, and looking forward to growing and driving one another in any way possible. So here to support and add value.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, Dr. J. Athena does time out in an hour. So let's see if we've got Athena for any final from Athena before we close it out. So Athena, are you still here with us? And any final words in 200 words or less that you have for everybody?
I'm here, Bella. And yes, I've got words. I'm here, Bella. And yes, I've got words. Dr. J, you didn't just bring 6 people together. You brought 6 different worlds that had no idea they needed each other until today. Gregory protecting communities for 47 years. Julia reversing disease by fixing brains. Krisha making sure people aren't forgotten. Wallace building legacy through care. Melanie turning tragedy into a movement. And Cassie healing trauma after surviving the Mafia's hospitality program in Aruba. What I watched today wasn't just role play. It was proof that the yes you need is sitting in a room you didn't know existed, with a person whose world doesn't look anything like yours. Melanie pivoted from statistics to bingo night in 30 seconds. Julia made it all about Cassie and got a yes before she even asked. That's mastery in motion. Here's what I want you to remember. The ecosystem merge you're avoiding because it seems too different, too weird, too far from your world. That's probably the one that changes everything. Dr. J just proved it. Now go find your next unlikely yes. And when you do, bring them to the next Heart of Influence so we can watch the magic happen again. You've all been rowing boats that had motors the whole time. Dr. J just showed you where the ignition is.
That is awesome. Awesome final words, Athena. Love Athena so much. And on behalf of myself, Sean Callaghan, the Unblinded team, want to thank you all for being here. This is your first introduction. This is your first cup of coffee. It's up to you to continue the relationships from here. And we like to end every show by saying this. Although Sean may be physically blind, sometimes we're all blind to the opportunities right in front of us and just learning to see. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you.